Hey, what's up guys? My name is Will. Welcome back to another video of your friendly neighborhood artists talking about whatever. But actually today does have a subject in mind. Today I wanted to talk about the subject of inspiration and where does it come from and what happens. This particular drawing that's happening in the background right now is from the other night where I just sat down. The drawing didn't have any clue of what it was going to be, and I really didn't know where to go or where to start. So, where do you get inspiration from? Well, you know, the more things you have around you, the more things you can be inspired by. The more books you read, the more movies you watch, the more time you spend staring at Instagram all day long. These all are great things that are going to give you great drawing prompts if you're just looking in the right places. And I think that they can work really, really well. But what I like to do sometimes is take a look through my old sketchbooks and see if I can I improve on any of the drawings that I gave up on in the past. And sure, of course I can. So what I did was I took a look at this 2019 sketchbook, and I found some characters in it that me and a good friend of mine, Victor, were discussing a possible storyline, and it never got done. Never got even finished past that night. But that night I did draw this guy, and I drew this guy. And we came up with some fun ideas for them. I actually have the book here that inspired us. It's Into Africa. It's a historical book about the adventures of Dr. David Livingstone and the journalist Henry Morton Stanley that came to find him. And it's actually a really good book, a very good historical book about the early British exploring Africa and how dangerous that was. But beyond that, we came up with an idea to turn this kind of source material into comedy. Named one of the characters Reginald Blevins and the other character Lieutenant Pennyworth, and we thought that they might be brilliant around the cricket circles or what have you. Either way, they're often debating gentlemen's topics, some nonsense. But I think that it does have some potential, and combined with the other things I mentioned, like staring at Instagram all day, I came across someone who does cartoon caricatures really well. I wish I'd saved the post, that way I could show it to you all, but I didn't, so this is just working off of memory. I'm taking these characters and trying to give them a little bit more cartoony feel, a little bit more of a caricature feel, and basically just starting off there. Another really great place to find inspiration to me is to just get a hold of some new art supplies. This particular drawing started off with pencil, as most of them do. It's just a normal mechanical pencil going off into a Micron pen. I think I'm actually using a store brand knockoff of a Micron pen, but either way, it works really, really well. And the new supplies I actually got was a brand called Tombow markers. It's just an alcohol marker like Copic or like the store brand that you've often seen in many of my videos. But this Tombow brand gave me something new to play with, and many more colors. Skin tones and browns and reds is what I got. I needed some reds and I needed some purples. If you've seen some of the previous drawings, I'm trying to mix colors to get those, but not anymore. Although mixing colors is a really good skill too. If you actually start mixing colors, that could be another form of inspiration. Just start drawing marks on the page and drawing lines. I think that's kind of a daunting image to a lot of people that start off, and a lot of professional artists out there. Once they sit down in front of that blank page with nothing to do, just their imagination, it can be kind of an interesting feeling. You don't want to mess up this pureness of the blank page. Oh, but that's all right. That's why we start off with pencil. Just get down and start making some marks. So we'll start making these characters a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more the way I wanted to. and they're actually turning out pretty good. So these are the markers that I actually got. ABT Pro alcohol based Tombow brand. And they're actually pretty good. They have a chisel tip on one end and they have a brush tip on the other end, exactly like all the other alcohol markers I've used, or all the other good ones. To really use them well, you've got to plan ahead a little bit. Go with your lightest color first and then just add layers. As you can see here, some of the shadows of the characters, like beneath the arm and on the side of him, I go in with a darker color after I've started with a lighter color. It's just easier to do that way. But some of the benefits of alcohol markers over water-based markers is that you can get a blending pen or just use a very, very light color of the marker, very light shade of the same color that you're using, and just rub it until the pigment actually disappears. I know that seems a little counterintuitive, but you can actually erase, so to speak, if you just use a lighter color. The alcohol will pull the pigment out of the page and you can just start over. I wouldn't always rely on this technique though, as it can be kind of damaging to the paper and to your marker if you're trying to rub out the color, but it does work. So basically you just want to go in and try with the lightest color first and continue going into that step layers of different darker colors. Sometimes it's not always possible, but then you just got to be very confident and precise with your marks. And with enough practice, you'll get there and you'll get a finished looking drawing that'll be pretty nice. But this video is not really intended to be a tutorial. I have other videos on that. You can go back and double check through the library to see all the Copic tutorials I've had in the past, or alcohol marker tutorials. This video is more intended to just be a discussion for inspiration. I think that these characters are getting to the point when I think they look pretty neat and stories are developing and juices are flowing, and I think that it could be eventually, potentially, a funny story. Just someone's got to write it. And maybe that'll be me. I don't know. We'll see where that goes. But I'd like to hear from you guys too about your sources of inspiration. We've already talked about me. It's mostly movies, mostly books, and social media is always a great place to find inspiration. If not, just take someone else's drawing and make it your own. Just keep on changing it. It's always that great quote from artists. It's that you can't really steal art, you just keep changing art. Not bad. But actually you can steal it too, so don't just go copying around other people's artwork. That could be bad. Anyways, I would like to hear from you about some of your ideas. Let me know in the comments about any ideas that you guys have had for finding inspiration to fight that battle against the blank page, and what other ways there are to just be inspired. In the description of this video, I'm going to put a few links to places that inspire me, and also all the links to all my social accounts, Instagram, TikTok, that's a good one, and Facebook, and even Patreon. Patreon can be a good place. There's lots of people creating on there, and it's a really good way to support artists. I think you guys should check it out. You can even support me on Patreon. It's just a couple of bucks a month. You get free artwork in the mail, or a digital copy of the art that I've drawn for most videos. I wouldn't say each video, but most of them are on there. And even coloring pages. In fact, here's one that I just came across of the other day. I'm going to be putting this on there for a free coloring download that you could check out. Could be fun. Anyways, be sure to like this video, subscribe, tell your friends, click all the buttons that are below there. And if you click the dislike button, click it twice, and we'll see you next time. I'm just going to let the rest of this time lapse play out, and that'll be the end of the video. Till next time, have a good one.